Welcome to Sandbar, Serenity. All right, today we are going to talk about why you should buy a boat. I'm excited to talk about this because it is a subject that is near and dear to me. And we've got my 10-year-old son, Ashton, who's going to help us out with this. He's fixing to be 11 in the next couple of days. So let's get into it.
All right!
All right, so there are a lot of reasons to buy a boat.
Yeah.
Boats are not investments, but boats are an amazing way to have fun and really prioritize experiences over things. So for example, anybody can buy things, right? You can go buy clothes, you can go fill your closet full of stuff, but you cannot replace the experiences and memories. Those clothes fade, those little things you bought fade. But the fun that you have being out on the water and experiencing the joy of being on a boat, the places it can take you, all of those sorts of things cannot be replaced. They are, in effect, irreplaceable, and those memories are always with you. It's an amazing thing to have time on the water like we have with Ashton on Saturdays, getting together with the fam and going out. And that really is kind of the next point, right? So a boat is about family time. It's about getting together with friends and family and coming out on a weekend and having a blast out in the water or in the ocean, depending on where you're going. It really doesn't matter. It's just about getting together and having a great time. And that really is a key point. Family time, not sitting in the house watching TV, playing video games where it's just the kids doing one thing.
And I said, kids, you remember when I said, where would you like to go this summer more than any place in the world, huh? What'd you say?
Why?
Shut up, Russ. Audrey, remember?
Wally World, Dad?
In a boat, everybody is out there together. Everybody's experiencing the same thing as a family and enjoying that time together, and it is absolutely awesome. All right, so next, let's talk about the people and the locations. A boat is a very, very unique way to go to locations and meet amazing people that you would not otherwise meet. So if I'm on the boat, I can go to an island off the Bahamas, I can go to a lake and just enjoy an afternoon with friends. Regardless of where I am, that boat is going to get me to that location and provide some level of serenity on a sandbar, an island location that we can sit back and enjoy and have a drink in our hands and just, you know, enjoy the peace of that afternoon and sitting on that sandbar. You cannot get that with a car. You can drive to the beach, but you can't leave the water. You can enjoy the entire afternoon on a boat with your family and meet amazing people. And that really is one of the key elements, is that it's about the people and it's about going outside and engaging with others and having a unique shared experience and a fun time together. And that's really what the boat does. It gets you to those locations so that you can then go together with a group of people and go to the Bahamas for a weekend or go out on the lake and enjoy that amazing time and just meet absolutely amazing people that are sharing that experience with you and getting together. As you saw in the Bahamas video that we did, you know, 20 or 30 people just out on the beaches, enjoying the time together, grilling out, having a blast. And I can't wait to get Ashton over to the Bahamas in the next year or so that he can experience that with us. But the locations and the people are really what you're buying when you get access to a boat. And that's an amazing thing that, again, is irreplaceable, just like the experiences and the fun time that you can have. And sharing it with your son, who's just absolutely amazing too. And then teaching him how to grow up and solve problems on the boat. And untie the boat or start the boat or look at the engines and assess where they are or drive it. You're Captain Ashton. He's amazing when he does that. It's a real joy to see him drive the boat and get out there and have fun. So getting out, enjoying the people, going to those crazy locations that are only accessible by boat and enjoying that time is just one of the absolute amazing things. And then the people that you meet, spectacular. All right, so next let's think about boating from a perspective of stress relief, right?
Yeah.
So getting out on the water and having an awesome day is easy to do on a lake. But there may be other destinations that you want to go to where you can really relax, like a Sandbar in the Bahamas or off the coast of Florida or somewhere else. Maybe you're in the Northeast and you want to hit a location. Well, it is an amazing thing to be able to go with other people and all go out there together and enjoy that time. So everybody's helping each other, everybody's bringing food, everybody's relaxing and just out there for the afternoon. It's absolutely spectacular. If you're a new boater and you buy a boat from a dealership as opposed to a private individual, one thing that I would recommend is that most dealerships, I know MarineMax especially does this, but they have what are called getaways, where they will take customers out in a guided way with, you know, a MarineMax captain and show you the routes to go to an island. So that takes a lot of stress off of going out there and enjoying or, you know, worrying about how to get to a location, you know, all the different things that you need to bring. They will prep you for all of that so that everybody has a wonderful time. And again, when you've got 20 or 30 people, you know, collectively together on their boats going out for an afternoon on the water, it's absolutely spectacular and it becomes a lot more stress-free. So a few years ago, we went to the Bahamas for the first time. And it was one of those, oh my gosh, what do we need to do? How do we need to prepare? You know, what do we have to bring? What is the location going to be like? What are we going to do? All of those things. Well, when you work with a dealership and you buy that boat from them and they advertise those getaways, a lot of that information they're going to give you beforehand, so you don't have to worry about it. Again, reducing that stress level. So if you're a first-time boater or a more experienced boater and you haven't gone to a particular location and you want to, check the websites of the place where you bought the boat. I highly recommend doing it. It'll save you a tremendous amount of stress. It'll get you prepped and ready to go, and you're going to meet some amazing people that want to have just as much fun as you do on their boat.
So next what we're going to talk about is basically like learning a skill, like driving the boat, untying the boat to take off, lowering the engines, and stuff, like and also like dipping your feet on the water.
That's one of his favorite things. So,
yeah.
So I think the idea of learning a skill with a boat is awesome, right? Because you're expanding your horizons. You're not just getting in your car and driving back and forth to the store or the movie theater. You're actually out there expanding the world at which you engage with and learning about water, which is 70% of the Earth's surface. Learning how the tides work, how the moon and the clouds and the atmosphere affects the waves and wind and all these different things and the world around you. And so learning all of that really expands your horizons when you're on a boat. So yes, you are learning about the world around you, but you're also learning about the boat itself, and those skills stick with you for a lifetime. So Ashton has, over the past couple of years, learned skills on how to start the boat, how to drive it, how to put the engines down, clear weeds off the props, you know, untie the boat from the dock and help me get it out into the water and just have a great time. So not only is he learning these things, you know, as a 10-year-old, I'm learning them in my 40s, and we're having a great time. But I think the most important thing is just to get out there, take advantage of these opportunities, explore it with your family. These are memories that cannot be replaced, and expand your horizons at the same time. It is absolutely amazing. All right, so I think probably one of the larger points that we need to talk about too is you're saying, okay, great, I want to buy a boat, but what type of boat should I get? Well, the absolute number one thing that you should do is your research. And that means understanding what your purpose is for the boat. If you're going to be on a lake like we are right now, you can buy a completely different boat than what you would want if you're going to go offshore. So if you're offshore a lot like we are in Florida, then you're not going to want to buy a lake boat. A lake boat potentially meaning an inboard boat, a boat that is nicer and prettier to look at, maybe not as stout and robust as like a Boston Whaler or a Contender or something else where you're going to hit 5 to 7 foot waves. So you want to make sure that you get a boat that adapts to your purpose. I originally started off with a 27-foot Sea Ray Sundeck. And within 2 months, I recognized, unfortunately, that was not the boat for me. Upgraded to a 290 SDX. And that had twin outboards versus the inboard of the 270, and then wanted to go back and forth to the Bahamas with it. So that was a huge thing, was to say, all right, we have got to go offshore. We're going to have more fun out there. What is the appropriate boat for that? We immediately upgraded. Well, those upgrades are expensive.
Yeah.
So then we went from the 290 SDX and said, boy, you know, when we're hitting those waves out there and the, you know, the atmospheric conditions can be a little bit rougher, we need something that's a little bit more stout than the Sea Ray. So then we upgraded to this boat, which is the Boston Whaler 280 Vantage. We have gone through storms. We have, you know, faced terrible conditions in this boat and had absolutely no problems. So if we had fully understood our original purpose, which was we need, you know, something that can withstand offshore conditions, wave heights of 5 to 7 feet, should we get caught in them? We need outboards. We need something that's going to be tough and durable and not sink.
Yeah.
The first boat should have been a Boston Whaler 280 Vantage. But instead, you know, we went from a 270 sun deck, we went to a 290 sun deck, then we ultimately ended up with a 280 Vantage. So 3 boats in that trial got us ultimately where we wanted to be. Another thing that you may want to consider is trailerability. So the 280 Vantage is absolutely wonderful to trailer. Much larger than this, you know, a 320 is okay as well. We're dock limited, so we really can't step into a 320, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd be there. But you want to make sure that you have something that is trailerable and that your car can tow. And it's not going to put you in tight situations, especially if you don't trailer all the time.
Yeah.
So having something that is accessible on your ramp that you can get in and out with ease, and then also trailer and not be stressed out when doing that. Again, we want to be on a boat to reduce stress, not cause more of it. And experience the joy of being out on the water. That's definitely the way to do it. So enjoy understanding what your purpose for the boat is and have a blast doing that research. I highly recommend find a friend with a boat. Go out on the water with them. Call up MarineMax or another dealer and say, hey, you're contemplating buying a boat. You know, can I spend a day with you on the water on some of your getaways? And they will be happy to take you to show you so you can experience, okay, this is what it's like to go offshore. If you're just going to be on a lake, this is probably more suitable for you.
Yeah.
And the costs and the options and features are going to depend on what it is your purpose is and what you're going to need to pay for. So, you know, make sure that you understand that so you don't overpay for something.
Yeah.
But you also don't want to get less than you need because, you know, 2-foot itis is real. And going offshore and wanting to experience the fun of islands and other things is also very real. And you don't want to have to sell, take a loss on that, and then buy again.
Yeah.
So, all right. Another thing that is really important, I understand, you know, everybody says, hey, there are lots of costs with owning a boat. I don't know if I can get into that. There's depreciation, there's ongoing maintenance and running costs. There are lots of things that are, you know, involved in the ownership of a boat, and every single one of those could be a reason to not purchase a boat. Totally agree. But there are ways to minimize all those things, and honestly, they're the same things that you experience when you buy a car. I've got depreciation experience as soon as you buy a car.
Yeah.
I got to fill it up with gas all the time. I got maintenance. I got other things, right?
Yeah.
All those things are very, very important. Well, they're a little bit larger on a boat because a boat's going to be a little bit more expensive than a car potentially.
Yeah.
But here's how you reduce the depreciation expense. Don't go buy a brand new boat. Go buy a 2-year-old boat. Go on boats.com or Boat Trader, and I promise you, you will find 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old boats that you can get from somebody who got in over their head and is needing to sell it, and they will have low hours on them. And you will avoid that depreciation expense almost altogether if you buy a 3 or 4-year-old boat. I usually like to look at a 1 or 2 and do quite well off of those exchanges. The ongoing costs, don't fill your boat up totally full every single time. You know, as you're trailering or as your boat is sitting in your dock, fill it up with gas as you see prices move. Buy lower gas. Just don't go fill it up when gas is really expensive.
Yeah.
Buy it and fill it up as it is lower priced and, you know, add 10, 15 gallons as you go. That's going to save you, you know, a tremendous amount of money there. Also, if you have to store the boat or you have a trailer that you have to keep, I'm lucky because I have a dock at the house, so I don't have to store the boat per se off-site, but I do have to keep the trailer off-site because of my HOA.
Yeah.
So there is a trailer yard that is 5 minutes from my house, which would make life easy, but they charge $300 a month.
Yeah.
If I drive just a little bit further, roughly 20 minutes, there is a trailer yard that charges $115 a month. So I'm willing to drive a little bit extra to save a couple $100 a month on my boat.
Yeah.
That is a big difference each month. That fills the boat up with gas or takes care of other things all the time. Another issue is be proactive with your maintenance. Clean the boat regularly. Don't just put it up after you're done with it. Inspect it. Walk around it.
Yeah.
Get a sense if there are any small little cracks in the gel coat or what may be happening. Just clean and maintain.
Yeah.
That will allow you to identify issues early on that could ultimately turn into some bigger issues. And if you can solve them when they're small, it's going to save you a lot of time, energy, and effort later, which is what you really want to avoid.
Yeah.
All right. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a great time with Ashley filming this one today. Again, highly recommend you get out on the boat for all the amazing reasons that we talked about in the beginning of this video. And I really hope you're able to find an awesome boat and enjoy life on the water. And of course, we look forward to seeing you at the Sandbar. Bye-bye.
Bye.